You've pulled a zipper up 1,000 times without thinking twice. But this little metal track spent over 60 years failing in public before anyone trusted it near their pants. Right now, it closes your jacket, your bag, your boots, instant, silent, automatic. That reliability is the whole point. Getting there took 3 separate inventors and a lot of embarrassment. Start in 1851. An American inventor named Elias Howe, yes, the sewing machine guy, patented something he called an automatic continuous clothing closure. It was, on paper, a zipper, but Howe was busy defending his sewing machine patents and making real money from those. He never built or sold the closure at all, so the idea just sat there, unused, for over 40 years. No factory, no product, no follow-up. One of history's great almost inventions, filed away and forgotten. Enter Whitcomb Judson, a mechanical engineer who, depending on which account you believe, was tired of bending down to lace his own boots. In 1893, he patented a clasp blocker, a row of hooks and eyes you closed by pulling a sliding guide up the side, snapping them shut in sequence. A Pennsylvania lawyer named Lewis Walker liked the idea enough to bankroll it, and together they formed the Universal Fastener Company to bring it to market. They debuted the clasp blocker at the 1893 Chicago World's Fair, expecting shoes and bags across America to switch over almost immediately. Instead, it flopped. The hooks sprang open at random, jammed under any strain, and needed real patience to operate. Almost nobody bought it. Universal Fastener limped along for over a decade, barely surviving, selling a product most people considered more trouble than the buttons it was supposed to replace. The turnaround came from a Swedish-American engineer. The company hired around 1906, Gideon Sundback, brought in to fix what Judson couldn't. Sundback's personal life was rough in those years. He lost his first wife not long into the job, and by most accounts, he buried himself in the workshop. What he came up with was a total redesign. Instead of hooks, small interlocking metal teeth, called scoops, pulled together by a single sliding tab. He patented the design in 1917 as the separable fastener. It didn't pop open. It didn't jam. For the first time, the mechanism actually worked. Sundback also built the machinery to mass-produce those tiny teeth cheaply and precisely, because a great design is useless if you can't manufacture it at scale. World War I gave the fastener its first real jobs: flight suits for pilots, and money belts for sailors who needed pockets that wouldn't spill open at sea. Still, almost nobody was wearing one on ordinary clothes. This clever little mechanism had a resume full of boots, belts, and uniforms, but no shirts, no trousers. The shift started in 1923 when B.F. Goodrich licensed the fastener for a new line of rubber galoshes aimed at people sick of fumbling with boot buckles. Goodrich's president reportedly liked the sound it made snapping shut and started calling it a zipper. The name was catchy enough to stick to the company's own boots. For most of the 1920s, zipper still meant galoshes, not garments. Tailors were wary of putting cold metal hardware anywhere near soft, delicate fabric. Manufacturers found a workaround: market it to parents instead. Zippers went onto children's clothing, sold as something kids could work themselves, no buttons required. Then Paris flipped the whole story. In the 1930s, designer Elsa Schiaparelli started putting zippers on couture dresses, not hidden, but visible, colorful part of the design itself. Overnight, the zipper stopped being a cheap mechanical shortcut and became a bold, modern fashion statement worn by people who could afford literally anything else. Meanwhile, in Japan, a small fastener business, founded in 1934, was quietly getting started a company that would eventually become YKK, today's largest zipper maker on Earth. Back in America, the final holdout was one specific garment: men's trousers, still closed almost entirely with buttons well into the 1930s. In 1937, Esquire magazine ran a feature literally titled "The Battle of the Fly," pitting zipper flies against button flies for men's pants. The magazine declared the zipper the clear winner: faster, cleaner, no gaps. Menswear manufacturers took the hint and started switching over. From there, it moved fast. Dresses, jackets, jeans, bags. The same mechanism Elias Howe had shelved back in 1851 was suddenly everywhere. So, next time you zip up without a second thought, remember it took 3 inventors, 1 World's Fair flop, and a magazine article about pants to get here.